Did you know that the average Canada goose can eat about 4 pounds of grass every day, and it'll poop 2 to 4 pounds of poop every day? And in a year, it can produce over a half ton of geese poop. This is Frank Taylor with Nature at Your Door, and I'm here at Ring Pond in Cornwall on the Hudson. And today's topic is going to be the Canada goose, a wildlife success story or the creation of our latest pest. Stay tuned for details on this story. Right here in your backyard, you never know what you're going to find. By the mid-1950s, Canada geese were virtually extirpated as resident geese throughout the 50 states. Here in New York State and Ohio, they were virtually completely gone. In the early 60s, a few resident geese, which were tied to the subspecies or race of giant Canada geese, were discovered and subsequently bred and through wildlife protection laws were reintroduced. The Canada geese were extirpated by lack of hunting regulations, which led to overhunting, collection of eggs, and loss of habitat. When I grew up in the 60s and early 70s, to see Canada geese was usually a rite of passage of fall or spring. And we saw those migratory birds and heard their calls, and it was an amazing thing to see. Now, Canada geese are virtually pests on many golf courses, parks, and private ponds. The return of Canada geese was widely acclaimed as one of wildlife management's greatest success stories. However, there may be more Canada geese today than there ever have been in history. Why? Canada geese are very adaptable. They can live to be 20 years old. They have high survivor rates. They lack predators, and they thrive on the habitats we've created with lawns and golf courses. They love eating grass, especially the nutritious grass that we've produced by fertilizing it. That's highly, highly nutritious. With these high numbers of Canada geese, they've produced property damage through pooping and leaving feathers everywhere on docks and lakefront properties. They will overgraze lawns and turf grass and golf courses and bring it down to bare earth. Here at this park, you can see how the geese grazing have reduced this almost to bare soil in many places. Everywhere on this beautiful parkland, there is goose poop every couple inches. It's impossible to walk through here without stepping on it. And then people will go home and track this into their houses. It's really an unhealthy situation. These geese can be very aggressive sometimes and will actually chase people or children and sometimes cause injury. These birds can further harm humans through car collisions and even bring down airplanes. These birds near airports are a great risk when they get sucked into engines in flight. And remember the 2009 Miracle on the Hudson. That airplane had all its engines brought down by Canada geese pulled into the motors. These geese can be horrible to the water quality of ponds. They cause algal blooms, excessive plant growth, which can choke out the water, murky water, and very dangerously high levels of E. coli, making it completely unsafe for recreation, especially swimming. Canada geese are actually invasive in Europe. In England and in France, these birds are in the top 100 invasive pest species in those countries as well. We've created the perfect habitat for resident Canada geese with these mowed areas, water, safe from predators. It's really a big problem now in so many city parks, golf courses, and private ponds and elsewhere. Some solutions include physical harassment of the birds to try to chase them off. the use of decoys. Some areas have resorted to fish and wildlife permits to eliminate the geese. In this town, in 2013, the town contracted the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to come in and remove a number of these geese. It resulted in a backlash from the community where over 2,500 people signed a petition to leave the geese alone. Here in nearby Cornwall on the Hudson, the town worked with the Long Island Humane Society, who donated to them predator decoys in an effort to keep the geese away from some of their public areas. The success of those decoys has yet to be seen. This situation with Canada geese is a great example of how our successes with wildlife management sometimes can cause problems with humans. Thanks for watching this episode of Nature at Your Door. If you like what I do, please subscribe to my channel. And remember, I have hundreds of videos now. I've got playlists. I cover everything from amphibians to reptiles, fungi to wildflowers, trees and insects, and all things living. Thanks again for watching this episode of Nature at Your Door.